Masking and authenticity in autistic adults. Hi everyone, I'm Jacqueline from ASD Life Coaches. Today we're talking about something incredibly common and incredibly exhausting for autistic adults: masking. If you've ever felt like you're acting your way through life or like you can't show your real self without consequences, this video is for you. So, what is masking? Masking is the learned behavior of hiding your autistic traits or forcing yourself to behave in ways the world considers normal. This can include things like rehearsing conversations in advance, copying facial expressions or tone, suppressing stimming, forcing eye contact, perhaps giving socially expected responses instead of genuine ones. Masking is something autistic people usually learn very young, not because they're trying to be deceptive, but because it feels necessary for acceptance and safety. Authenticity, on the other hand, means allowing your natural communication style, your sensory needs, your actual preferences and personality to show without fear. So, how masking shows up? Masking can show up in so many subtle ways. Being on all day at work and collapsing the moment you get home, adjusting your personality depending on who you're with, smiling, nodding, laughing, even when you're confused or overwhelmed, mimicking humor, slang, posture, or expressions to fit in, feeling like you're performing a character instead of being yourself. And for many adults, this becomes so automatic that they don't even notice it's happening. They just know they're exhausted. Now, long-term masking has a very real cost. It strains executive functioning because you're constantly monitoring, correcting, and adjusting yourself. It increases sensory overload because you're suppressing your natural ways of managing your sensory system. It leads to identity confusion because you spend so much time performing that it becomes hard to know what you actually want or who you actually are. It contributes to autistic burnout because you're pushing beyond your emotional and cognitive limits day after day. And it heightens anxiety because there's a constant pressure to pass or to avoid doing something that others might judge. So let's take some steps towards safe, healthy authenticity. Authenticity is not about ripping the mask off everywhere all at once. It's about choice, safety, and gradual self-discovery. So first things first, we want to build awareness. Start by noticing. When do you mask the most? Who are you with? How do you feel afterward? Awareness gives you back some control. Then we want to identify your authentic traits. So think about what feels natural to you, your genuine communication style, your stims. What are your sensory preferences, your pacing in a conversation? What are your interests, your values? These are parts of you, not things you want to mask or hide. Then we want to start in safe spaces. So you want to choose environments where authenticity feels possible. This might be with a trusted person, perhaps in an online autistic community, with a coach like myself, during low-stakes conversations. You don't need to unmask everywhere. Start where it feels good. Then it's time to practice micro-authenticity. Small steps make a big difference. So some examples. Allow a small stim to pop out even if you'd normally hold it back. Ask for clarity instead of pretending you understand. Say, I need a moment to think about that. Express a real preference, even if it's simple. Wear sensory-friendly clothing instead of what others expect you to wear. These little acts rebuild the connection between your internal self and your external expression. Then you want to strengthen your boundaries. Authenticity depends on boundaries. Scripts can help, such as, I communicate more clearly when I can process first, or I need to avoid that sensory environment. You might want to say, I'm not comfortable with that, but thank you. Boundaries communicate your needs in a respectful and direct way. Let's do a little coaching exercise. Something simple, you can try it today. A quick win. Authenticity mapping. So what I want you to do is write down 3 situations where you find yourself masking heavily. For each of those situations, write 1 small authentic behavior you wish you could use. Choose one of those behaviors, try it for just 10% of the interaction. Afterward, reflect on how it felt in your body, your energy, and your emotions. This is how we slowly rebuild self-trust. I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, masking doesn't make you weak. It's something you learned to stay safe in a world that wasn't built with you in mind. Authenticity is a journey, and it can take a little bit of time and a great need to go at your own pace. If you'd like help navigating this journey, this is exactly what we do at ASD Life Coaches, and I'd be happy to support you. Now, if you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you'd like a video on unmasking in relationships or how masking affects burnout. Anything you want to see, drop it down in the comments and I'll work on that. See you next time.